It's been 3,000 years.
Hey there guys, John here, bringing you guys another news update for the wonderful world that is Cardfight Vanguard. Oh boy, we have gotten crossovers galore this week. So we got a couple of new sets announced in today's Bushiroad stream for both Touken Ranbu as well as Monster Strike. They did release a few cards with some effects, and we'll go over that in the later point of the video, but they also started announcing and leaking effects for festival collections. So there are a couple cards that I'd like to discuss with you guys along in that regard that have been happening within the past week. And of course, guys, if you like this style of content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our videos, as it does help us greatly. But let's just jump right into it, because there are a lot of things I would like to talk about. Alrighty, so let us jump right into the goodies of festival collection. So they started announcing a few of the effects, and they started out by leaking both the Dragon Empire as well as the Dark States cards. So the first card I'd like to talk to you guys about is Rough Eating Dragon Hungersaurus. That is a very Tachikaze name in a nutshell, guys. So his effect reads, continuous rearguard circle during your turn. This unit gets plus 5,000 power. If your opponent has a front row rearguard, this unit cannot attack the Vanguard. So this card to me is more of a Eugene card than anything else when I look at it. For the Overdress archetype, I don't personally think it's a very good addition, as it doesn't really mesh well with the overall playstyle that is Overdress. However, with Eugene, because you are doing a mass amount of retiring, it is a solid beater on the board. I do personally think that it might have some utility over Oshikuni, but maybe they can work hand in hand with each other. Time will tell. But so far, it's a solid beater in my eyes. However, speaking of the cards with Overdress, the next card I want to talk to you guys about is something what I find pretty neat, and that is going to be the Flame Priestess Mirren. So Mirren reads, auto rearguard circle. When your unit with the Overdress ability attacks, cost, put her into the soul, choose one of your units with the Overdress ability, and it gets plus 5,000 power. So very solid in terms of being able to fill up the soul, being able to fill up soul cost to help pay for cards like Verena, the original Verena from the trial deck, as well as the ability to say, even if your unit is not in the Overdress state, it just needs to have the Overdress ability to get the plus 5,000 power. That being said, it is kind of hard to justify running her in something that, you know, in a deck that focuses on beating your opponent in the face, doesn't help create the magic numbers as fluidly as I would like. But still a very solid card in my eyes, and something to consider when it comes to deck building later down the line. Alright, moving along from Dragon Empire, let us now talk about some of the Dark States cards, and the first card to talk about is the Degraded Age Dragon. So, Degraded Age Dragon reads as followed, auto rearguard circle. When this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if your soul has 5 or more cards, cost, discard a card from your hand, choose one of your opponent's back row rearguards, and retire it. Honestly, it's very solid in my eyes. The idea for Dark States is you want to have a massive amount of soul for both the Bruce plays as well as your Barrow Magnus plays regardless. So being able to get to 5 soul is actually fairly easy for both decks. That being said, however, the cost to discard a card is actually very heavy, both in Barrow Magnus as well as Bruce, because you want to be able to lay down as many combo pieces as you can for your Bruce push turns, as well as the fact that a lot of your combo pieces for Barrow Magnus need to be able to soul charge to help get you to the 15 soul for the win condition of, you know, shoving everything in and then calling everything out and all that good stuff. Anyway, it's still solid to help field wipe, but it's not a necessity in my opinion. It's just more of a card that helps get rid of pesky rearguards if the situation calls for it. So, solid card, but something that might be more splashable than anything else. Alright, and then after that, we're going to be talking about the card that definitely is going to be focusing more so on Bruce than anything else, and that is going to be Diablos Boy Jared. So Diablos Boy Jared reads, act rearguard circle once per turn, counterblast 1 and soul blast 1. Choose one of your units with Diablos in its card name, and this unit gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. And then its second ability is auto rearguard circle when this unit attacks. If you are in final rush, your opponent cannot intercept until the end of the battle. So being able to lock down intercepts is very nice. However, what I personally like about this card is that it's a solid card to give plus 10,000 power to any one of your Diablos cards. And you know, if we're speaking about Diablos, that's the grade 1, that's the grade 2, that's the grade 3, and there are a few other cards that fit in the Diablos archetype, as well as Jared himself can be a solid 20k beater if need be, because it doesn't specify that you need to select a other unit. So it creates very solid numbers. The Soul Blast is, of course, a little detrimental to your Bruce plays, so you might not be able to get it off consistently. However, something like a Counter Blast not being used as much in the Bruce deck is very nice. So it's a solid card in my eyes, and definitely something to consider running later down the lines for the Final Rush decks. After all that, guys, we're going to go right into the stream news now. So they announced a couple of promo cards for V Premium, to be more specific. And the first card I'm going to talk to you guys about is pretty interesting. It's more Aqua Force support, and that is the Rogue Brave Shooter. So Rogue Brave Shooter reads, at the end of the battle that this unit attacked the Vanguard, if it's the first battle of that turn, counterblast 1, put this unit to the bottom of your deck, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, call up to 1 card from among them, and call it to rearguard circle. So very nice, helps enable more multi-attacks. It's something obviously that is probably not going to be a necessity, as a lot of grade 2 slots, in my personal opinion, for Aqua Force are very enough tight as it is, as there's a lot of good grade 2s for Aqua Force. So it's just a solid, nice addition if you want to try and create more of a nice multi-attack flow, and just a solid, good beater overall. The 9k is kind of a little detrimental, as it is going to be one of the first battle, and you might need to boost with it. However, slap it on something like an Excel Circle, and you can probably get the job done from there. So the next card after that was a Mega Colony card for the Ghidorah archetype more specifically, and that is going to be Vulgar Mutant Stamping Red. So Stamping Red reads, when this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, cost Counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards without any Cradle markers and put a Cradle marker on it, and if you did not, draw 1 card. Then its second ability is a continuous ability that reads, Vanguard Rearguard Circle during your turn. If your opponent has a rearguard with a Cradle marker, this unit gets plus 6,000 power. So solid 15k beater overall, because of course, the way Ghidorah wants to work, you want to be putting a lot of Cradle markers on the board and being able to watch your opponent cry with the sheer control of the Cradle markers. And then, of course, the Counterblast 1 to be able to create more Cradle markers is really nice. The way Ghidorah wants to work is you want to be able to spam those markers as much as you can. So overall, it's a very solid support, and something specifically for Ghidorah, but I don't see it being used for anything else past that. All right, and now to talk about the Land of the Sword Boys, guys. Now it's time to go right into all of the collab stuff that happened, and of course, we're going to first talk about good old Touken Ranbu, Sword Boys themselves. So of course, this is just going to be their generic D-starter that they get from their trial decks. That is Kashu Kiyomitsu, and it reads, obviously if you go second, you draw cards, so nothing to say there. But what's interesting is that Kashu Kiyomitsu is a ride line for himself. And yeah, we'll go over that. I'll just show you guys. So here it is, the Kashu Kiyomitsu, the grade 1 that reads Kashu Kiyomitsu Sento. So Sento reads, when this unit is rode upon by Kashu Kiyomitsu Toku, a very handful of a name. Anyway, which is the grade 2, by the way, just in case, is you look at the top card of your deck and put that card from the top of your deck into your soul. So it's a kind of nice pseudo stacking effect, which is nice. And its other ability reads, during your turn, this unit gets plus 2,000 power. So very nice, solid 10k beater in that regard. Nothing much else to say there, just, sheer aggro. It's going to be interesting though, because we're not entirely sure how the Touken Ranbu playstyle is going to be, and if it's going to be any sort of predecessor from its original. But then again, the original Touken Ranbu was kind of a mixed bag, if you will. There was a lot of things that you could do there. So we'll just keep reading and see where we go from there. All right, so from Kashu Kiyomitsu Sento, he digivolves into Kashu Kiyomitsu Toku, which is the grade 2, and it reads, when this unit is rode upon by Kashu Kiyomitsu Kiwame, which is the grade 3. So there's a final evolution to his Digivolution, boys. Anyway, search your deck for up to 1 Yamato Kami Yasuda. I hope I got that right. Reveal it and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. And then during your turn, this unit gets plus 2,000 power. Overall, it's just a very solid filter card. It looks like it's going to be probably just a 1-of in your deck, as the ability is just more specifically stating, when it rides upon the grade 3. So it's just something to help the ride line. And I don't see it being an addition of anything else past that. So just, nice ride line. Super cool. And here it is, his final Digi-Evolution, boys, and that is the Kashu Kiyomitsu Kiwame. Continuous Vanguard Circle during your turn. If you don't have any face-up cards in your damage zone, this unit gets plus 10,000 power, which is super cool. And then his other ability is act once per turn, cost Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Look at the top card of your deck, put up to the top or the bottom of your deck, and you draw 1 card. So, it's a mixture of OTT and it's kind of original playstyle, which was, consume a lot of counterblasts and then have the ability to plus off of that with, various different types of skills. And yeah, it's just a super interesting card and solid overall. I mean, it is a trial deck card, so we will see where it eventually will fall from there. And then, of course, following from there, we do have the grade 2 that the other grade 2 helps search out when you ride upon this version of Kiyomitsu, and that is the Yamata no Kami Yasuada. Hopefully got it all right. I'm sorry if I botched the names, guys. I'm not super fluent when it comes to Touken Ranbu sword boy speech. Anyway, ability is Act, Rearguard Circle, cost Counterblast 1. For this turn, this unit gets power plus 5,000, and if your Vanguard is Kashu Kiyomitsu Kiwame, the power becomes plus 10,000 instead of plus 5,000. If you're playing this in a term of fluidity and you have this as a 4 of, and or if you're searching it out via the grade 2 skill, then it becomes actually a 20k beater on the board, which is nice. And then, you know, the way I'm seeing it right now, at least, just in a nutshell, it just looks like the overall Touken Ranbu playstyle is going to be very heavy beats with solid numbers, you know, plus 10ks, plus 5ks. It's all very nice. It's just, you know, the trial decks cards as they are, and we'll just have to see where it evolves from there. But overall, you know, solid beats. Nothing much to say there. All right, fixing everything aside, and I think there was a huge sun glare in my face, so I do apologize for all that, but let's just keep on going, guys. We're going to talk about the next card, more so the next crossover, and that is the crossover with Monster Strike. So as you can see here, they have released the box arts for the trial decks for Monster Strike. There's actually 2 trial decks that they'll be getting, which look very nice. I'm not a Monster Strike sort of expert, but I can tell that, you know, just from the art overall alone, that, you know, pretty cool looking. Sword looking boy over there with a whole bunch of different types of weapons and some sort of demon chick over there. I am sure they are probably some sort of main characters or something along those lines. I unfortunately am just not as fluent when it comes to the world that is Monster Strike, but of course, if you are, let me know in the comments down below and educate me, if you will. And then after that, guys, they also announced the main booster set that was going to be released for the Monster Strike set, and it's going to be this guy over here. The card art actually looks very, very cool. I like the whole rainbow aesthetic that's on the grade 3s. The full art borders look actually really, really pleasing, so I could definitely see a lot of people getting hyped for something like this. I don't know if the Monster Strike collab has been specifically announced for the English side of the game, but time will tell when it comes to that regard. You get 10 triple rares, 13 double rares, 2 over trigger rares. So yeah, even Monster Strike gets over triggers, gonna be insane. 15 rares and 31 commons, and then you can see 2 SSRs, 8 MSRs, and then 71 MSRs. So those are just the foils and the whatnots when it comes to Monster Strike as a whole. Overall, the set looks pretty hype. I can definitely tell that there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be excited for Monster Strike as a whole, as it is a very popular IP. And yeah, everybody, that is going to be the news for the week. Overall, there is a lot of very interesting collabs that is coming along when it comes to Cardfight Vanguard in general. Very interesting to see that there are going to be a lot of other different types of people coming into the game, whether it be from Monster Strike, maybe from Touken Ranbu, returning players from the power of the Sword Boys, and just seeing where Vanguard has evolved over the years. And then maybe we'll even get more people interested with the mechanics of Overdress. It's going to be very cool. Interesting to see, too, if, you know, English side of the game will get any of these collabs. I think we are good confirmed for the Touken Ranbu set, but for Monster Strike, once again, not 100% sure, but who knows? Anything's possible at this point. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed my video. If you do like these sort of weekly news segments, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our videos, and I will try to provide more content like this in the future. But with that being said, guys, my name is John from Team Gradelock. Hope you enjoyed our videos, and I will see you guys next time. Deuces!